Hi everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today we have a fun art project from Bridget McDermott, an art teacher from Virginia. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hi, welcome to Arty Like a Rock Star with me, Bridget McDermott. Today we're going to learn about the artist Maria Osoro Driscoll. She has been creating art for her whole life. She is originally from Columbia, but moved to Roanoke, Virginia, where she met her husband and attended Holland University studying for her art degree, and she has been a full-time artist ever since. She gets her inspiration from nature. She's known for her abstract landscapes, her abstract fruits, and her flowers. These can all be found on her website. Lately, she has gotten into collages made from painted papers. We are going to create our own today. For the first part of this project, you're going to need a messy mat, white paper, watercolor paint, a paintbrush, and a water cup. Have your paper down horizontally, and then we are going to fold it in half, hamburger style. Once you have your paper open, we're going to paint one side. We're going to be making oranges to start, so I'm going to start with a yellow paint. And I am just going to start in one corner. It's easier to spread if you add a little bit of water so it can blend out. Once I've added some yellow, and make sure you fill in all those white spaces, then I'm going to go in and start adding some orange. I'm going to let it overlap and squiggle on top. The more water you add, the lighter the paint will be. You can mix in some more yellow because remember, a fruit is not a solid color. It has some dimension to it. We're going to keep layering our paint to give it some depth. Some areas are darker, some areas are lighter. I would start lighter and then go darker because it's harder to go the other way. I add some speckles and spots all over. Next up, we're going to splatter. To splatter, you're going to get your paintbrush nice and juicy and just lightly tap the brush as it's over top of your paper. Keep it close and go slowly. Moving on to the other side, we're going to do half the paper again, and this time I'm again going to start with the yellow. Here I'm going to add some green to it to do our leaf area, but I always like to start lightly. So I add my green and then lots more water and fill up that whole bottom half of my paper. Once I have done that, I'll start gradually adding the color darker. To get the color darker, I have more paint than water. So you want to get your brush nice and juicy with paint. Remember, I can splatter again or speckle all over that. I like one corner to be lighter and then one area to be darker. I am adding a little bit of blue to kind of deepen the green. In the top half, I'm going to do two different colors. One half, I'm lightly going to do a red. Remember, to get it light, always add more water. On the other half, I'm going to do a light blue. If you don't have a light blue like I do, just add more water to your blue and do one layer. I'm letting those areas dry before I add my deeper colors on top because otherwise it will bleed. So I got juicy red and I'm kind of just pressing it all over. Little speckles. Here I'm adding a little bit of purple And as it mixes, it makes this red-violet color. I'm gonna splatter. Remember, again, tap again with the purple or the blue. This time I'm using my darker blue and splattering. I can splatter in my green and just double check if there's any other pieces I want to add. Before moving on, I must have my paper dry because I need to draw on the back of it the different fruit, the leaves, and the flowers. So make sure it is dry before you move on. You can always pause the video. Next up, you need black paper and white paper. Use your scissors. If you have a fancy tool like this, please get parent help in order to get your paper equal sizes. My white paper is a little bit smaller, and that's okay. This is what I'm going to do my collage on top of. I need to tear the edges of my white paper, and I want them to be about the thickness of one finger. I'm going very, very slowly. It might not look that slow on the video because I sped it up so that you weren't sitting here forever, but go slowly so it doesn't rip your whole paper. If you accidentally rip, just start over and try again. Now that that is complete, we are going to add glue, dot, dot, not a lot, to the edges. Once I've done that, I take my finger and I spread it out so it doesn't add big bumps as it begins to dry. Rub those glue boogers off and place it in the middle of your black paper. Smooth it out with your hands, and then you can put that off to the side. Now we're going to take our painted paper and we're going to create our fruit, our leaves, and our flowers. So you're going to take your paper, you're going to need a pencil, scissors, and glue for this next step. Turn your paper over, and later in the video I have this. You can pause to look at it if you're doing other fruit. Remember, other fruit, try other colors. So I'm doing an orange, so I'm going to do a circular shape. Oranges are not perfect, so it does not need to be totally perfect. I'm going to do about 5. Make sure they're a good enough size that will fit on your paper and not look like teeny tiny little babies. Now I'm going to go to the green section and I'm going to do a football shape. Think rainbow, smile, or an oval. Those can work for leaves as well. And I'm going to do at least 5, if not more, because I want each orange to have a leaf. So I did it all next to each other, but you can really spread them out so that you can get lots of different colored leaves. Now I'm going to start doing some the little dots on the bottom of the oranges. So I need 5 little circles in the pink section, and now I'm going to do my flowers. I start with little circles, and then I'm going to draw 5 or 6 lines coming off for my petals, and then I bubble trace around. If you think you can just bubble cut without doing the lines around, you are welcome to just bubble cut around those lines, because that's what we will be doing after we finish doing all our drawings. This I'm doing in the yellow section. I'm doing little X's because those are going to go toward the middle of my flowers, the little stem pieces coming out of them. Now this big green section over here, I want about as thick as my finger, some lines. They do not have to be perfectly straight for my stems coming off. I'm making mine almost like the letter Y. Now I can grab my scissors and begin cutting. I obviously am cutting very, very quickly because I sped up the video. But remember, pause at any time so that you can catch up. I even cut some extra stems to use as well. And then I'm just placing them off to the side so that I can piece everything together. I forgot to make a budding flower piece. like Maria adds, so I start with a large U shape and then 2 lines in between and then a stem, and I bubble cut around it. Now that everything is cut out, it's just about time for glue. So I'm prepping my glue bottle by picking off the glue boogers and bringing over my black and white paper. Before I start gluing, I like to place down all of my pieces to see where they will go, to make sure I don't have anything else I need to cut out. That 5th orange just wasn't fitting right for me, so I took it off. Now that I like where everything is, I'm gonna place them on. Dot dot, not a lot. And don't forget to rub with your finger near the edge. That will help make sure things don't buckle around it. Actually, decide to overlap my oranges, so that works. I can still use it. Now I'm gonna add the little dots on the bottom of each orange. And then a leaf or 2 towards the top of each orange. Try to make sure they're not exactly the same color. If you use a light green, then use a dark green. Now I can place my flowers where there is space on the branches, and then any other pieces I desire. There you have your Maria Driscoll fruit collage. Check out her Instagram listed below.